corrupted. Because what happens, you know, the tribes divided into two parts. The 10 tribes go into Assyria, the captivity, but disobedient. The 10 tribes go where? The 10 tribes go to Babylon, or to Benjamin. And so then you have that there. And then they're released from Babylon to come back and build what? Zerubbabel's temple. And 490 years later, the Messiah's death, burial, resurrection, the outpouring of the Holy Spirit comes. And then you have a spiritual what? Spiritual age. So the Jew that you have in this age, he's not spiritual. He is a what? Spiritual what? He's Gentile. Sorry. That's what it is. I didn't set it up that way. I don't make no apologies for telling you the truth. That's right. So is that clear there?
Mm-hmm. What happened to the other two tribes? 10 went to Babylon, and what happened to
the 12. They intermixed. They all came back together. You might as well get that. Acts 1, 8, and 9, and John, Acts 2. Give me 2 and 1, and then give me 1. Give 1 and 8 first. At the ascension, this is what the apostles asked the Messiah at the ascension. They said, will you seek to restore the kingdom? Because what they wanted us, listen, this is the kingdom. It's about time to hook these Gentiles' butts. Right. Yeah. He said, it's time to hook the Gentiles' butts. And so Jesus can rule us. We tired of these folks. The Romans were ruthless. So people don't understand. They were as ruthless as the American forces are. People don't understand about American forces. See, wars, people don't understand war, what it does to people. When people get into that war mentality, like I was telling a lady, we was down in the studio one day, to make a long story short. She was talking about, various things that came about war. I said, when people go off and they get loony, they get just go crazy. I said, when war starts, the first thing that people do, especially when an army comes into a village, the first thing a mother will do is take all her women and do what with them? Hide. Put them in the daughters, right. Go somewhere. Because they know when them troops come in town, that's free meat. Mm-hmm. That's always been since the beginning of time. It ain't changed. All the way down. All the way down. See what I'm saying? So when Americans went into Iraq, they went to the museums, they raped, robbed, and pillaged. None of that stuff was in the news. That's what they did, right. That's what I'm saying. And people say, how can my son lose it like that? Become a killer? You don't understand that the devil has power to do what? Mind control. And they teach him it's a theater. That's right, they teach him. They teach him that. In other words, that's what happened in heaven. We told you in heaven, that's how Lucifer locked that whole damn thing down. Yep. Until he decided to call Mike and Mike out and said, listen, it's time to get the business. You got to go. This is where you are down here. You're down here at the end of that thing. So give me those two scriptures.
Acts 1 and 8.
Read Acts 1 and 8.
But ye shall receive power. After that, the Holy Spirit is come upon you, and ye shall be witnesses unto me both in Jerusalem and all Judea and in Samaria and unto the uttermost part of the earth.
Read. Now just jump back and forth at the 5th verse.
Okay, this is Acts 1 and 5. For John truly baptized with water, but ye shall be baptized with the Holy Spirit.
Now, just always say they asked the Messiah, when shall be at the time of they asked him when would it restore? The 6th verse. That's what I'm on.
When they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Rabbi, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel?
Okay, now that's the 11. That's the bloodline coming back together. They said, well, are you going to restore the kingdom? He said, well, not as you what?
Receive it.
Not as you perceive it. It's going to be a spiritual kingdom.
Right, spiritual.
He said, my kingdom is not of this world. It's not no here, no there. The kingdom is spiritual and psychological. They didn't understand it until the day of Pentecost. Okay, now go get me Acts 2 and 1. It said, so Jews came from all over the world to come back. That's the 12 tribes lost. They weren't lost before Yahweh was concerned. They came back to Jerusalem, and that's when they all came together to form this spiritual what? Kingdom.
This is the introduction. It says, Acts 2nd chapter, Spirit poured out on the day of Pentecost. Peter testifies of Yahshua's resurrection. He tells how to gain salvation and speaks of the gifts of the Holy Spirit. Many believe and are baptized.
Okay, read Acts 2 and 1.
Okay. And when the day of Pentecost was fully come, they were all with one accord in one place. And suddenly there came a sound from heaven as of a rushing mighty wind.
Okay, that rushing mighty wind, that's the Holy Spirit descending into their hearts and minds. Okay, read again.
And it filled all the house where they were sitting.
Read.
And 3 appeared unto them cloven tongues like as of fire.
Read.
And it sat upon each of them. And they were all filled with the Holy Spirit.
Read.
And began to speak with other tongues as the Spirit gave them utterance.
Read.
And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men out of every nation under heaven.
That's the 12 tribes that came back together there at that point. See, they all came and established a spiritual kingdom and come all the way down. It's a spiritual thing. It's not by lips, it's not by blood. It's by a spirit of those that take on that psychological mindset of the spirit of truth. Yeah, that's what I'm right. That's what I'm end up at. Matthew, and get the other one.
Verse 21 and 12. And Yahshua went into the temple of Yahweh and cast out all them that sold and bought in the temple, and overthrew the tables of money changers and the seats of them that were sold doves.
Read.
And he said unto them, It is written, My house shall be called a house of prayer.
Read.
He hath made it a den of thieves.
Read.
And the blind and the lame came to him in the temple, and he healed them. And when the chief priests and scribes saw the wonderful things that he did, and the children crying in the temple and saying, Hosanna to the Son of David, they were very displeased.
Okay, that's another count. They said they sought to do what to him? They sought to kill him. That's another count. So then, again, one more time, we don't know as we close this down, open up the questions and answers. We're trying to show you the modern day genealogies of what happened to the royal families, so-called royal families of Europe, how they trace their bloodlines back and how they have attached them to Dan. We showed you that they were attached to Dan, or they tried to attach them to the what? The Dan was played out as one of the 12, as Lucifer, just as when the Messiah came in and fulfilled that, one of the 12 is who? Jews. So you have that, one of the astrological signs was what? What's the Scorpio is that negative sign, the devil sign. You know, play out that role of the Adam. Now, so we showed forth there, everybody is trying to attach themselves to the Messiah's bloodline. Literally, physically, the Roman Catholic Church says Peter was the first pope. Okay, now we have the royal bloodlines saying, well, here we are attached to David. Now, can you go read that? This is the third time. This is important. As we go through these things, you're going to be able to follow the train of thought why the bankers or Europe, this European bloodline, was part of the occult magic. See what I'm saying? Okay, read it all up, Penny.
And this is from the book, Worldwide Evil and Misery, The Legacy of the 13 Satanic Bloodlines. Today, the descendants of Dan exert more...
Now, why are there 13 bloodlines? Because the Messiah is 12 what? Tribe. It was actually 12 tribes, but actually it was 13 tribes, because the Levite wasn't what? Wasn't counted. It was 13. And they said 13 is always the occult says you go in some of the old elevators, not the new elevators, old elevators, there was a 13th floor. But they considered bad luck. It was not bad luck, it was always good luck. Okay, let's go through this. Everything is turned around on you. Okay, let's go through this one more time.
So today, the descendants of Dan exert more influence than ever before, and they possess the means to pave the way for the Antichrist. They carefully kept the 13th bloodline, which was caused into being exclusively by Satan, a secret. They did so with the help of the most powerful, at the same time, most secret society in the world, the priority of science.
So the priority of Zion, and Zion got their power, they attached themselves to David. Okay, read.
This secret order was founded at 1090 AD by God of
Okay, 10 what?
1090.
1090. Very close to 1096. Solomon's temple was down to what? Down to John's vision was 1090 what? 1096. So you can say, okay, that's another story. But go ahead.
By Godfrey Bullion, and has since then been linked to the 13th bloodline. Over the centuries, this order has developed into what nowadays is called the priority of science.
Read.
Since its creation, this order has adhered to the Hermetic magic, an occult form of magic that goes back to the Egyptian Book of the Dead.
The occult magic. So then they're playing the same role as Jaggies and what? Jamborees down. People say, well, you ask people, so where's Jaggies and Jamborees at? I have people in ID Mars. You should try to read sometimes. They don't. A lot of people want to stay on milk. That's on them. So say, but you got to understand the bloodline. They're trying to attach it to the Pope. It's not a Pope. People believe that. Pope believe Jesus Christ. I'm sorry about that. But this here is the Hermetic magic. Okay, now we're coming down to a point. Okay, read.
The priority of Zion is led by the Grand Master.
Okay, he's a Grand Master. That's the reason why you got a master's degree. So that's the reason why you got a master's degree today, because it's copied off of this format, of this template. Okay, go ahead.
Whose names are among the most famous of Western culture and history. They are also the leading Illuminati, who are often part of Europe's nobility and even royalty.
Read.
The Pride of Zion also founded the Order of the Knights Templar.
Now, okay, we told you the Knights Templar. They was set up initially to protect the pilgrims as they went to Jerusalem.
Mm-hmm.
But they developed into the founding of the International Bank. They had this little code on a clay tablet that involves you going from place to what? Place to place without carrying all your gold with you. And then they had places where they reconcile the books. So now that's how you have International Bank. You can go anywhere in the world as long as you got one of those little cards. See, and American Express, they got a special card, a real special card.
Black card.
It's a black card. When you throw that out at you, they always open. Oh, you want a $5,000, sweet? They don't even bother to even call people. They said, Mr. Warren, we got to call up on this. Oh, you know what? You've been rejected. You owe me a president.
What you say about the Catholic Church and them not?
We're coming down to that. Hold on just a moment. Okay, read.
Okay, the Pride of Zion also founded the Order of the Knights Templar, which was later to bring forth powerful European bankers.
This is how the bankers were. Now you had the powerful bankers. Then this is where the Rothschilds eventually moved into. But it was originally founded by the Knights Templar.
Right.
And they eventually moved in having a great ability to do what? Make money. Just like, the black players, when they first started in the Negro League, they wouldn't allow them in. But when they found out they could play ball in Pakistan, they said, y'all come on in.
Right, make some money.
Make some money. But we're going to make a bigger part of the money. You know what I know?
Right.
Mike made some money, but owners made what? More. Did you know that jacket, that shirt sold over $1 billion? Mike's jersey.
They made $1 billion off
Over
him.
$1 billion
They made $1 billion off of
jacket.
Mike.
And Mike didn't make 1 cent.
He got nothing, right.
He got $33 million.
They made $1 billion off
Wait a
of
minute, ain't right? What you talking about? You got your $1 million. What's going to down somewhere?
Off his
You
name,
don't
they
understand
made
how
$1
to
billion.
be situated.
They create the market.
They create the market. They're the bankers.
We don't even know their name.
You don't even know their names. Okay, go ahead. So we have the nice Templars. Go ahead.
They also stood at the cradle of the Order of the Rosicrucians and that of the Scottish Freemasons.
Okay, this is all part of this bloodline. Go ahead.
Together with the Illuminati, the Order of the Zion operates behind the scenes of world politics.
They operate behind the scenes. So when you see somebody out in fat mouth and playing president and all that, they don't have no water.
No power.
I don't think they got any power.
No juice.
So they read.
They were not only responsible for the most important events in modern history, they also play a role in present-day global politics, especially in the domestic affairs of various European countries. The Illuminati and Pride of Zion has also had strong ties with the Mormon Church. The interferences of the Pride of Zion isn't restricted only to the Illuminati. They also closely interwoven with the inception and the continued leadership of the Mormon Church, with the Rockefellers being the biggest donors.
Another part of the bloodline. But now, in closing, you asked the question was, so then the Knights Templar became the bankers of Europe. They were the most powerful bankers in Europe. Mm-hmm. They were so powerful that they had all the kings in all the European countries in debt. Mm-hmm. There was a king called Philip who? Philip the Fair. He was so deep in debt, just like he was in deep, and he was in debt to the Knights Templar, the bankers. That was asking for more money. So he said, wait a minute, this ain't gonna work. So he went to the Pope. You know what? We gotta join forces here, because the Knights Templars, they got all the damn money, they running the show. Matter of fact, they even powerful than you, Pope. So what they did, they excommunicated the Knights Templars,
Right.
killed Jack Malay, and took all their wealth. Most of the Knights Templars, they went to Scotland.
They
That's another story.
fled, right.
They went to Scotland, and we'll talk about Bruce. Robert the Bruce. Let me tell you about a story about that. We had a brother who was in there, we was talking about, he was down at the, went down to the, he was looking on the floor down there, he happened to go to one of these union club, for the stock exchanges. Everybody's in there, little white. He was sitting around talking, he said, yeah, Robert the Bruce. Everybody said, what you know about the brother? About the brother. Well, I told you, I said, you don't talk that stuff. Because they figured really Robert the Bruce. Where you get that information from? Because Robert Bruce is part of the Illuminati, and their whole church is, we end up with them. They hate Jack Malay. They had a sworn vow that they were going to do what the Roman Catholic Church destroy. That's where you get today. That's where now you will cover the whole story, all the bloodlines down, and how there was division amongst the bloodlines. But they wanted to destroy the Roman Catholic Church, and they wanted to set their whole. That's another story. But we covered everything today. the bloodlines. And as we get deeper into it, you begin to understand the unfoldment of this. It had the power that of the Messiah over this. Those of us that are part of the bloodline, they have no power over us. As far as deception and mind control. That's the big thing. And that's the problem that they have. They have very big problems. I had a lady call me, give me time to close it. She called me and she says, I got a problem. I said, listen, my mother, I learned about my mother, she had a problem. She said, well, listen, I don't have any discs in my back. I said, you're in trouble. And she said, I got constant pain. I said, well, there's only 2 or 3 ways to do that. I said, I don't want to operate. I said, well, they got stem cells that can do it. But you ain't got enough money to go, and they can put them in and actually regrow those. Then it'll take some time. But that's the leading technology. But you know, we're talking about buku money. We're talking about more than $250,000. So she asked me about some herbs. I said, well, herbs won't do it. I said, now all they can do is alleviate the pain, and then you can walk around with that in this life and not have the pain. But as far as it'll grow in this, no, that ain't possible. That's a whole other story there. And I said, you know how long it take to grow a disc? I mean, you know, so what happened was I told her what to do and gave her some stuff so I could walk. The pain is cut in half. I said, that's the best you can do in this life. But what the medical community was what they was going to do for would probably make the problem even what? Worse. And I said, I told her that's what you should do. Pray on it. But that's what I'm saying. You got to understand what we're at and where things are at. And things the way they are. The way they are is because of these bloodlines. And the type of information that's there. But there is the spirit of truth. We told you the spirit of truth is here. And it's in you if you ask. And it will answer all questions that you have. Right. So with that, we end the day. We told you about what would happen in the financial system. That's taking place. All these people are being laid off from one world to another, and there is no hope. But there is hope. Right. The hope is in Yahshua, and He will prepare a way for it. But as far as you think that you're going to change this system, or you may go out and change your light bulb, you may get capital, run the dope fingers off the hand, you may get a little social program. But as far as, for instance, changing this mortgage, giving everybody should be able to get their mortgage house free because we have perpetuated mass what? Fraud. That ain't happening. But Yahweh gonna do something too. You know what Yahweh gonna do? He's gonna tear the whole damn thing down. Whole damn thing will be torn down. Ain't nobody gonna get nothing. That's what's gonna happen. That's what you have now. So again, I want to thank everybody for coming out this evening. Are there any questions, comments?
Just a small comment regarding